Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Crafty Hour number 76. It is Deanna here with Clipper Street Scrapbook Company. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We are going to get started in just a couple of minutes. I am a little crooked here. Let's straighten my phone out just a bit. Hopefully not call 911 while I do it. I think that's okay. There we go. A little bit better. Good morning, everyone. Actually, that is not better. Hold on tight, folks. We're going to just switch it like that. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Today we are going to be using the Paper Rose Enchanted Christmas. This line is so pretty. I love the purples. I love that it's different. It's not the traditional reds and greens. It is just really adorable. We're going to create 3 cards this morning. We're going to get started in just a minute. We did have homework. Good morning, Wendy. So hopefully you've all done your homework. We had card 1, card 2, card 3, and it was pretty basic. I'm going to be using silver foil and the chalk box purple foil. These are both hunky-dory foils I'm going to be using. You can use purple glitter. There's some gorgeous purple glitters out there. You can also use the lilac foil, which is a little bit lighter. I like the dark pop on this, but you could do the lighter one for sure. And then you could just also use cardstock. So feel free to change this up whichever way works best for you. Now we are going to be using the card kit that everybody has got. And in your card kit, you have a ton of paper. You also are going to have, let me pull mine out here, 4 die cut sheets. So there is 3 of them that are similar. This is kind of like the Sesame Street, which of these things is not like the other. We have 3 that are similar with the circles and the greetings. These are interchangeable. Okay, you can use whichever circle you want. You can use whichever greeting you want, which totally is fine with that. And then this one is all of the elements and all of the icons. So we have these adorable little gnomes, we have some snowmen, houses, trees, etc. So Courtney and I are going to both be using these sheets. We're going to use a lot of them, and we're going to make some cards. Now, the other thing I'm going to tell you, in your kit, you also have some instruction sheets. I didn't bring mine. I guess I left those at home because I don't use them. But I actually have the cards here to show you, if you follow along with the instructions, what they're going to look like. So I'll show you these at the end. I don't know. I guess I left that little paper probably on my desk and under my desk on the floor. I don't know where yours goes, but that's where mine happens to go. So I'm going to walk you through these cards. The homework we did post, so you should have everything. This is one of the cards. Now, I would love to be putting on, and I probably will go back and do it, I feel like it needs some gems. I always like gems in the center of my snowflakes. I do have purple ones at home. There's some, there's many companies that have them. Spellbinders, Pink Fresh, there's loads. So part of what I will do is I'll go home and put some of the rhinestones on here. You could use clear too. I'll probably use my purple ones because I feel like it does need some. This is just one of my typical layered cards. Nothing special with that. And then we have this one. Now this one is a little bit different. This is going to be a gift card holder. And you can just put your gift card in there. It's going to be sealed, and it will also, as you can see, stand up. So we're going to be making this little gift card one too, because at the holidays, we always tend to give a lot of gift cards. So let's get started. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Well, we have it. One other thing before we get started, I see the numbers are still going up a little bit, but in case you missed it yesterday, Courtney and I are both going to be doing pre-orders for the Clipper Street tonic dies. I know Courtney said she's using the circles today. which are these ones. Now, quick little thing, if you never got this die set when we released it last November, you got one more shot. It took us like 6-8 months to get this sorted out so that we could do one more reorder. We always have to take into account the minimums, and that's a little tricky. So if you haven't got these yet, both Courtney and myself have them up on the website for pre-orders. We did post last night in Crafty Hour with links. Get them now. These are amazing dies, but the price point is incredible. We are offering them to you at a heck of a deal. So check out with your home store. You get all three. They're being sold as a bundle. The reason is we had to order the same amount of all of them, so I don't want to get stuck with one and then be sold out of the other. And the value, we made it, so if you buy two, you essentially get one for free. So you gotta just get them. And Courtney and I will be using these going forward in Crafty Hours because they are available again. We kind of stopped because they weren't. But you'll see that like the circle ones, oops, that's not the right one. They work perfectly with paper rose, and paper rose tends to have the same size circles all the time. So see how perfect that works. You could put a nice purple foil around these. So I haven't done ovals. I will be honest, me personally, I don't use a lot of ovals in my card making because there's so many different shapes, long and skinny ovals, shorter, fatter ones. But yeah, maybe down the road we will look at that. I just don't have it on my radar right now. I wanted to get these three basic ones done. And again, you can see like even what we're going to be doing today, I could have, and when I designed these, we still hadn't got a absolute guarantee. But you can see that this one we could have done with the this beautiful square one. So these are fantastic. If you haven't got them, just get them. Get them. Expected in at the beginning of January. They have gone to print manufacturing, I guess. So they are on their way. And when we sell out, when we have the allotted number, that's it. That is it. Okay. We're going to start with this one, which is going to be using two of the same papers. Okay, so for this, your homework was a 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 square card. So let's double check. That is my square card, 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. Then I said the silver, and this card I'm using silver, but of course you can use whichever you like. So we have our 5 1/8, which is our silver foil. That is a square. And then we have 4 1/8. Now, I always joke that dies save you money. They do, because what I could have done, that's the right size, is I could have die cut this right out of the center and had this one for like a bonus. But because I didn't know 100% if these dies were going to be ready to tell you about, I did not use it. But you can see how it kind of saves you money because you don't have to cut another piece of silver. Okay, so that is all the homework we had to do for that one. So we're going to get started. We've got 3 cards in the next 55 minutes. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and glue that large silver onto the front. So go ahead and attach it. Not worried about what way the card opens at this moment. We are just getting our silver foil that we have pre-cut onto our card. And again, you might be using pattern or cardstock. You might be using glitter. Silver glitter would look nice. Purple glitter. Lots of options with that. All right. So I'm going to put that off to the side. It's a little blinding. Whew. Now I want you to find 2. So in your kit, you have 3 of every paper. I want you to find 2 that are identical. This is what they look like. They've got the moon. On the back, it is a purple gingham, but there's a couple of purple ginghams. So you might want to just look at the front. Off to the side, there is these presents right here. Okay, so have a look. You want 2 of the exact same one. Because what we're going to do for this card, we need to have 2 of them. So I'll also tell you a little sneaky way to do it. I did not do it this way just because when I'm teaching, it's a little tougher to do. So find those 2, pull them both. They are identical. They have presents down the side. Okay. And we'll do one at a time. So I just want to make sure that everybody's got those. And we will cut some paper. Let me bring this in. And just put one off to the side for just a moment. We'll start with one of them. Okay, so with this, I am going to turn it upside down. So turn it upside down. Trees are upside down. The little creek is upside down. And we are going to cut it at 5 inches. So upside down, 5 inches. And that's going to cut off. Let's get straight, Deanna. That is going to cut off this piece right here. Put that off to the side. Okay, we may come back and use this gingham. So I'm just going to put it into my scrap paper pile. And I have a piece that's 5 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to make this a square. I'm going to take the bottom to 5 inches. That is going to cut off the top. Now I am going to use this piece in a moment. I'm going to leave it up at the top of my desk because I am going to use it on this card. So I have a 5 by 5 piece, 5 by 5. Let's double check it, make sure it fits onto the silver. Looks perfect. Let's go ahead and glue this together. Okay, so we're going to put that on. Now you want to pay attention to how you want your card to open because it is a square. I personally am going to have my fold at the top. If you want your fold at the side, that's totally okay. Absolutely. So this card, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it does. This one, it does not. So you choose which way you like your card to open. I should have told you too. I already took my bone folder and creased my cards. That's very important. I always hear about people that say, oh, my cards slide. Try good crease at the top. Using your Teflon bone folder it makes a big difference. Big difference. Okay, we're going to put that off to the side. Then we are going to take the second one that is identical. Okay, it is identical. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to turn it upside down and put it into our trimmer. We're going to cut it at 5 inches. Put this off to the side. We're going to take the bottom to 5 inches. Get rid of that. And so we have one that is identical. It is exactly the same. Okay? Same size, looks identical. Everybody good with that? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take 1/2 inch off all the sides. 1/2 inch each, oops, let's spell right, each side. So, knowing that this is 5 inches, what we're going to do is our finish measurement. Let me show you where we're going with it. That finish square is going to be 4. Right now it's 5. So we're going to go from 5 to 4.5. Turn it, 4.5. Turn it. Now we're going to go to 4. Turn it, and 4. So we have taken 1/2 inch off each side. Now these are great for adding onto your card, little borders, etc. So if you want to keep those, you absolutely can. You could even patch those and do some fun, crazy things. So now we have the same image, but smaller. Now there are options for this. I am telling you the easy way because we have extra paper, so why not? But an option would be to find a die that is 4 inches. Could be a straight die, a scallop die. Cut it out of the middle of the original paper And then this should cover that hole. So that is always an option to do if you want. Just line it up in the middle and cut it out. And I would probably do it with a straight edge one, which of course we have. And then that way you just cover it up, saves you with a piece of paper. But we're going to do the easy way. So now this measurement is 4 by 4, and it should fit onto the silver I had you cut, which was 4 1/8. So go ahead and glue those two together. Any questions about doing that? Always fun little thing to do, because then your picture kind of lines up. It's an easy card, very easy. And it's great if you have a lot of different papers. You know, where you have multiples, such as this one. Okay, so that is on your mat. Now we're going to foam tape this to the center of the card. And remember that we're going to have 1/2 inch all the way around. We kind of want to line up those images. So you can see that my tree here kind of lines up. That's the best place, but even the moon, you can see that that is going to kind of line up as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to flip it over, we're going to put some foam tape on it, and we're going to line it up in the center of your card so you have 1/2 inch all the way around. That's what you cut off, remember? So it should work perfect. Like I said, always an option to use those dies when you're making this on your own. But for Crafty Hour, it's a lot quicker to just do this. Okay, I'm going to bring this a little closer so I can kind of line it up. I have a few things that work. Yeah, I think that works. Gosh, no, it doesn't. Let's see. Let's try this again. 1/2 inch. I am not a measurer. I am just lining up different parts, making sure my moon lines up. That's going to be your big focal point right there. So you kind of want that to line up. Then you can see down here, that's lining up. We're not going to see a lot of the bottom, but I'm comfortable with that. And my tree. Okay, so that is done. Moving on to the next one. We're going to go to our die cuts, and you're going to choose a die cut. Doesn't matter to me which one you choose. One of the circles. So I'm just going to use the same one that I did. I'm going to use my gnome with the tree. I'm going to use that one. I like it. And I am going to glue that to the center of our card flat. Now this is where, like I mentioned, when you get these, if you don't already have them, you could have, oops, I keep grabbing the too big a one. There's too many. We could have put a mat on there, and we could have, again, cut it out of the center of the silver, which means it doesn't cost us anything, right? Because we're just cutting it out of paper that we don't see. I'm going to glue it flat. I'm not going to use foam tape on this. We are going to be putting a lot of foam tape on the embellishments in a minute. Whoops. So I am just going to glue that in the center, kind of like that. Okay. Perfect. Now let's go back to these little scraps that we cut. Okay. Remember I said we actually will have two. You only need one, but let's find one of those. Okay, and we're going to trim this down to 4 inches. Right now it measures 5. I want it to measure 4. So let's cut an inch off. 4 inches. That is how long that piece is. This needs to go across like that. See how that goes across? So that's the piece we're going to use. Should be 4 inches. And what we're going to do is on the lighter side, one side's a little darker than the other, we're going to tear it. We're going to tear it towards us. Now, I am right-handed, so with my left hand, I hold it. my right hand, these are my tearers, okay? And we're going to tear towards us, which will bring that white fabric. Now, this is pretty thick paper, so don't rush it. Just take your time. And you can see that by tearing it, you are in control, okay? I keep my tearers real close, so kind of like that. And I just took off a little, just like that. Okay, it is thicker paper, so it's a little bit more challenging. Now, that's what you do with your right-handed. If you're left-handed, of course, it will be opposite. If you were to tear away from you, you would not get that white edge, and I wanted to use that white edge. Now, we're going to foam tape this at the very bottom. It's going to look just like that. It's going to go at the very bottom of the pattern paper. So I'm going to take my foam tape, and I'm just going to put one strip across the back, just like that. And then I'm just going to take it right to the bottom of the pattern. It is going to overlap that just slightly. All right, that looks good. Looks good. Okay, now we're just going to add a couple of embellishments to this one. So let's go to this line. And we are going to use this snowflake right here. You've got a few snowflakes. I tried to kind of split these fairly evenly between Courtney and I. So I chose this one over here on the far left. It is kind of a lighter purple one. Come on. Wiggle, wiggle. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape behind there. And I'm going to put this right up here. Okay, just kind of right, yeah, I think right like that. Okay, half on the circle, well, not half, a little bit on the circle, not covering our gnome. And then, like I said, I personally would go back and put a purple gem in there. Love it. Now, the next one we're going to use is one of the Christmas trees, and we're going to use the big one that is right in the middle. Right in the middle. Let's pop that one out. Love these. Oh my gosh, so pretty. So this is the purple one we're going to use. And this one we're going to do a little bit differently. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over. On the bottom, which is the straight part, I'm going to just put some foam tape. You can use your roll of foam tape. I'm just using my squares. So on the bottom, just like that. And then on the top, I need double. Okay, so we're going to put one on top of the other. Just like that. So I have 1 times on the bottom and 2 times up at the pointy part. Looks like that. Now I chose this one because it kind of matches all the trees that we have on here. So this is going to go right to the far, ooh, I love it, the far left. It's going to go right to the edge right here. It will overlap that tree, and it's right to the far left edge. The bottom is going to be on the part that we tore. And then here, you can see now this should be level because we did double here and single here. Okay, one more thing. Choose a greeting. Doesn't matter to me which one you choose. You have lots to choose from. This one I did Christmas wishes. I think I'm going to do Merry Christmas on this one. Totally whichever one you like. Okay, I think I'll do, you know what? I still kind of like the one that matches color-wise just a bit better. So I am going to use Christmas wishes. They're all different tones of purple, which is very cool. Now, have a look at what we're going to do with this. I'm, again, just going to use my squares because I got them. They're handy. Right next to the tree, right here, I am going to put double foam. 2 times. 2 times. And I just placed it right there because then I know that it is in the right spot. You could just tear a little bit of your foam tape, totally works too. I just happen to have my squares handy. And then we're going to take our greeting and we're going to center it like that. So it's going to overlap the tree and overlap my circle. Notice that all the elements touch. To me, that is just one of my things I always seem to do. Totally up to you if you don't want to, but I like it when everything kind of is attached. Okay, card number 1 is finished. Again, I would go back and add some purple gems to it personally, but you don't need to. It also has that lovely gloss. How did that work out? Good for everyone? Nice, easy? Let me know. Are you crafting with me? We're going to put this one off to the side. We're going to start our number 2 because we still have 2 more to do. Definitely want to get them done. Okay. So this is card number 2. Let's find what the homework was. Make sure I've got everything for this. So we have an A2 card base, and it can be top or side folding. So I chose mine to be top folding. I kind of like that. But this one, it can be side folding. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose. So we have top folding for me. And then for purple, I said a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 purple foil. Again, you could be purple glitter, will work perfectly. Then we have a 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. That is this piece. And then we have a 2 3/8 by 5 1/4. That is that piece. So I have all my homework. Okay, so 3 different size purples and my card. So we're going to start with our largest purple. That was the one that measured 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And go ahead and glue that right onto your card. Okay, we're going to just attach it right onto the card. Like so. Get it out of the way, and then we're going to start cutting paper. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to put that off there. And I would like you to find this paper. This is the one that is kind of purple wood. It has some snowflakes on the front and our snowman on the front. But we're going to be using this side right here, the purple wood. Purple wood. Okay. And there is a way that I want you to cut this paper. I want my wood to be going sideways, okay? So I want lots of panels. I don't want it to be going on my card. Let me show you. Like this. If I go like this, it's going to be going up and down. I want it to be going like this, side to side. So that means we have to cut the paper in a certain way. So we're going to start with our 5 1/4 cut. All right, so I'm going to flip it over here. I'm going to put it into my trimmer lengthwise, okay, horizontal. Right now, if I look at it, the wood lines are going up and down. They're pointing at me up and down. And I'm going to take it to 5 1/4. So 5 1/4, going to cut. We're going to save this piece just in case. And I have a 5 1/4 piece. 5 1/4. Okay, now we're going to rotate it so that now our lines are going sideways. And we're going to cut it at 4 inches. Okay, cutting off that piece. And we have 4 by 5 1/4. And that should fit. Excellent. Right onto that purple foil. Look how that purple foil just pops. I always like a darker color underneath, visually for your eye. That seems to work better than a lighter color underneath. So that's why we're using Chalk Box, because it's got that beautiful dark, rich tone to it. We're going to put some glue over top of our snowman and attach that on. And we'll let that dry. Okay. Excellent. Now let's go to our scrap pile. This is what we cut off on our last card, this gingham. Let's find that. That's what we're going to use. You're actually going to have two pieces that are the same because we cut the paper exactly the same. So this is the one we're going to use. And again, we're going to do that 5 cut first. We're going to do the big one. Maybe it is, hold on, it's probably 5 1/4. I don't know why I said 5. 5 1/4. There we go. Finish writing. So right now it measures 6. I'm going to take it to 5 1/4. We're just going to cut off that little piece that we don't need. So the length of it is 5 1/4. And then we're going to trim it to 2 1/4. 2 1/4. So nice and long, nice and tall. You can save that for another piece. Ooh, that's a good little edge right there. Didn't plan on that. So 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. And you're going to have a purple foil that's going to match that you cut for homework that measures 2 3/8 by 5 1/4. So these are going to be the same length. No purple foil on those short edges, just on the sides. So go ahead and glue that together. Okay. Take that, attach it like that. Okay. Just purple showing on the long edges. We're not going to foam tape this. We are going to glue it flat over on the right-hand side. I want to see, we're going to go from the edge of the card in about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the card. Okay, so not too far in. Okay. And we'll line it up at the top. And now you see that we're going to bring in that purple foil at the top. That's why we didn't need any purple foil on those short ends, because now we see them. Had we put purple foil on those short ends, we would have seen double, and then we wouldn't have that coherent border all the way across. So that's why we left that blank, because now it picked it up. Okay, we're going to set that off to the side. Going to find one more paper here for this card, and this is this one. Okay, so have a look. It is another scene. This card kit had a lot of gorgeous scenes. The way I differentiate is what the border is. So this border is snowflakes. The back is a darker gingham. So see how much it is darker. So again, have a look at the front. I'll leave this here for a moment. It is the scenes with the snowflakes off to the side. This is the one we're going to use for this card. Gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Okay, and we are going to cut this in a specific way. So once you find that, just give me the thumbs up. I'll give it a minute, and then I am going to keep going, because I do have, again, we've got to finish this one, and we have one more fun card to do. Okay. Let's put that off to the side here. We'll bring in our trimmer. And once again, we are going to turn this upside down. So I want it to be kind of on its head. We're going to turn it upside down. And we're going to make quite a few cuts, because I am going to try and get it in an area that I want, so I can take advantage of that pretty image. So the first cut we're going to do is going to be at 4 3/4. So your paper is upside down. First cut is going to be 4 3/4. Cutting off that, we can always use that for another piece. 4 3/4. That's your first cut. First cut. We're going to cut several pieces here. So that's your first one. Okay, then we're going to turn it right side up so that it looks normal, trees are normal, all that good stuff. No worries there now. And we're going to cut it to 3 inches wide. Okay, so I'm going to take it all the way over to 3. I'm going to be cutting off the tree. Okay, so 3 inches. 3 inches. Now this is always a fun little piece that you could trim down and always add as a little embellishment inside your card if you want as well. You could also do it with the tape, so it is a pocket for a gift card if you want. So you can always save that. So I now have a piece that looks like this that is 3 inches. 3 inches. Okay, now we're going to cut the top and the bottom. So we're going to take the top, which is the dark part. We're going to take the top to 5 inches. That is the dark part. I'm going to cut off some of this snow. Okay, so I just cut off a little bit of snow. 5 inches. One more paper cut to do. And I'm just going to put that big measurement right here. Okay, so turn it, zoop. And now we're going to take the bottom to 4.5, which means we're cutting off 1/2 inch from the very top. So all in all, this paper measures 4.5 inches tall and 3 inches wide. Now, could you have used any part of this? Of course. We're not going to see a lot of it, but I did like the darkness, and I liked that I could see just a little bit of that tree popping. All the extras that we cut off, of course, I kept because it's just a really great plaid on the back. Now, this should, fingers crossed, fit onto that last foil that I told you to cut for homework. And this foil was the one that measured 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. We cut it for homework, so it should fit, and it does really nicely. So let's glue that together. Okay. Perfect. So now we're going to grab some foam tape. And we are going to foam tape that big piece to our card. Now my card is still wet, so I'm trying to be careful of that. Okay. So foam tape on the back. Now I'm going to come in on the left side this time, 1/4 inch, and I'm going to have it even top to bottom. So I'm going to have even space at the top, even space at the bottom, about 1/4 inch. Looks good, just like that. Excellent. Now we're just going to start with our die cuts. Again, you can see how quick these cards come together. So choose your favorite circle. I'm going to use the house. There is a few different houses. So again, you can use whichever house you want. I just chose this one that is just the house front. It doesn't have the snowman. Totally up to you. All the circles are interchangeable, so don't stress that. And again, had I known, you're going to hear me say this over and over again, had I known that we were going to get the okay on these, I would have used my circle, probably would have cut it out of the middle of my purple and had a decorative border on it. I chose not to because I wasn't 100% sure. Now we're going to put foam tape on this, and I'm just going to show you. It's going to go right about like that. It's going to hang over ever so slightly onto that gingham. Okay. I am going to probably be a little bit closer to the top. This will give me room to go ahead and add my gnomes down there. So I'm just going to put foam tape. I'm not going to take it right to the very, very edge, more so middle and left. So we're going to put some foam tape on the back of that circle. Going forward, we definitely will be using those scallops because they're just perfect. So please make sure to get your order in. I know a lot of you missed out last time. Okay, that's what I've done. I just haven't put it right to the edge because that is just a waste. And I'm going to put it like that. Yep, that makes me happy. Right like that. Okay. Now let's go to that die cut sheet that has all these little elements, because this is what we're going to use next. You know what, Deanna? I am not sure if we do. You can give the store a call. It is Crafty Hour number 76, Enchanted Christmas, sorry. And they will tell you if we have any left. I honestly didn't look before I came in, so give us a phone call. We do release Crafty Hours every other week. So tomorrow is the next one, and I know we're going to sell out of it. I'm sure of it. Okay, we are going to start with the small present. Okay, there's two presents. I took the small one, left the big one. So up in the top left corner is the small one. Go ahead and find that one. I know, they're fabulous, aren't they, Sherry? I'm so excited about them. And on the bottom of this, we are going to do double foam tape. So one there. Not going to worry about the top. It's just a little present. And one there. That is 2 times foam tape. 2 times. I could put one on the top. Maybe I will. Why not? Why not? We'll put one there. So 2 times on the bottom. If you want to put one on the top, then it should be single. And this is going to go right, let me just put it, yeah, I think right about there. Maybe I'll come down just a hair. Right about there. So the bow is just going to be on the circle. I have moved it over because we're going to put the gnome here. Okay, and this is the small one. Kind of in the middle of the circle almost. Doesn't go right to the bottom. We're going to see that snow down there. And then for the gnomes, I used this top guy. So you've got a couple of big ones and a couple of small ones. So I used this guy up here in the top right corner. Not the little guy, but the one next to it. He's got some pine cones with him. So that's the one that we're going to use. This little guy right here. And for this, I am going to take some of my foam, tape. I'm going to fold a piece in half. That is going to be, yep, I think that should probably be good. No more than 1 inch. Actually, mine's going to be too long. I can already tell. Let's say about 1/2 inch to 3/4. It's going to fit right in this space right there. See how I did that? And this is 2 times. Just like that. 2 times. And perhaps I will put a tiny little piece, just a small little piece. I didn't bring my small squares. Where did they go? I'm going to put, if you have the small squares, put a small square right on his very tippy top hat. Now he's going to overlap the present just a little bit. Oh, he's so cute. And there we go. All right, did everybody's work out that way? Fingers crossed. He's a cutie. Okay, to the other ones, we're going to pick some of the rectangle greetings. So I'm going to use Noel. Choose two purple ones. They could be any that you like. I'm going to use Noel, and then I also used Jingle. But you have so many to choose from. So many. Noel and Jingle. Okay, and for those, what we're going to do is just put a little piece of foam tape behind each of them. Just getting those little nubblies off. Okay, a little piece of foam tape behind each. As a matter of fact, I think I'll just put one of my squares. One piece behind each. You choose whichever purple ones you want. Doesn't matter. I chose two different types of purple, a Jingle and a Noel. I'm going to put Jingle in the very top. Right now, for me, I'm a little weird. I don't like to stay inside boxes. So I have it hanging over the edge a bit. I personally prefer it. Some people might want it stuck inside. That's totally up to you. I'm going to put Noel over here. And again, you'll see, I'm going to hang off the edge a little because that is what I do. And then I need one more for the bottom. And this is going to be one of my bigger ones. So I'm going to do the Happy Holidays. That's the one I'm going to use. You do whichever one you like. I'm going to do this one. Happy Holidays. And that one is going to get double foam tape. And don't worry about covering the whole thing because it is going to overlap. So that is 2 times high. And I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to have it slightly overlap or at least touch that circle. So again, see how everything is kind of touching. And that one is done. All right. We got one more, and this is the gift card holder. Are you guys doing okay? Put that off to the side. Just gonna grab that. Oops, sorry. There we go. Okay, this one is done. One more. Let's bring this in. So this is the one that we're going to have a split front. It's going to hold a gift card inside here. I had to do this so I knew I already used my Sephora gift card. But of course you can put any gift card in there. You can put tickets to a concert if you want on there as well. And it will stand up. Now for this card, I did say that you absolutely needed the top folding card base. So that is this one right here that has the fold at the top. I'm just going to crease this one. Make sure that fold is at the top because of the way the card is going to open. Okay, we're going to cut it apart, so we need that fold at the top. Then I also asked you to have a piece of white cardstock. Didn't matter, just plain old white, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I had you pick a 3 1/8 by 4 1/8 purple foil. It's that one there. A 2 3/8 by 5 3/8 purple foil. And a 1 5/8 by 5 3/8 purple foil. All right, so we do have those. Let's just glue these two together. For starters, your purple should fit right onto your white. These are those little pieces you cut. So let's just glue that so it's out of the way. And then that step is done. It'll be less pieces to worry about. So I'm just going to put that right on top of the white. Then I know that that one is dealt with. It's put it off to the side. All right. Now for this one, there's options. I'm going to use my big trimmer. So if you do have your big trimmer handy, I personally find that to be the easiest. You can do this with scissors, but I cut so crooked. The guillotine is a little harder to do this with. I probably would not recommend it. So you're going to want to grab this one. And what you're going to do is you're going to open your card up, wide open. Okay, so it now measures 11 inches tall. Open your card wide up. Your score line in the middle, just to make sure that you are got it right. Your score line is going to go sideways. Score line is going to go sideways. Now what you're going to do, and I will do it and then give you a moment, but so that you can watch, you are going to take the edge of your card to 2.5. 2.5. And you are going to cut down to the middle. You're going to cut down right to that score line. Okay, try not to go past it. Even better to stop before, and then you can always do a little snip with your scissor if you're worried. But your trimmer blade, let's see if I can pop this out, has that line on the center, which is where the blade is. It kind of tells you, see that line? It's like, that's my halfway. So I utilize that, and I just cut until I see that that line, let's get you back in. Oh my gosh. Till I see that that line is at the score. So 2.5, I've got it right to the top. I am going to take it. Just take your time. I check. I see that that's there. I'm going to, yep, that works. Okay, so I've only cut it to the fold. So go ahead and do that. It is going to be 2.5 on one side. That's where the cut is. Okay, everybody do that. Does anybody need me to repeat that? Open your card up, line it up on the top to make sure that you're cutting straight, go all the way down. And if you don't go all the way, you can just take your scissors and snip it as well. So hopefully that worked for you. So we now have a flippy flappy. And one of your purples will fit in the big one, and one of your purples will fit in the small one. Go ahead and glue those into place. Excellent. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that feedback. I know you don't have a lot of time to chit-chat if you are making the cards, because, of course, Crafty Hour is all about creating in an hour. It's a lot. It's a lot. We want to give you a lot of bang for your buck. And we do it as an hour because we always hear that you guys don't have time. And I get it. I often don't have time. And we want you guys to kind of commit to yourself. Do yourself a favor and say, I deserve 2 hours every 2 weeks to craft. And you can break them up, an hour each week, right? You can do one set today. You can do one set next week. But if you create, it is good for the soul. It's good for the mind. And we're saying it's just an hour each week because we do it every other week. All right. So there, I've got my purples. Now, before I get too far, and just to make it a little easier for handling, I'm going to take some of my tape, my double-sided tape, and I'm going to tape this piece down. It's going to go right there. So I'm going to put a little tape at the top, a little tape down the right side, and a little tape down the bottom, making sure I don't go past that cut line. Now, I know that the tape's going to be hard to see because, of course, white on white. I'm going to take it right to the edge because if I don't, guess what? It's going to fall right through. So card, tape, top and bottom. And we'll peel that part off. Oh, I forgot my craft pick today. And then we'll take, and the top and the bottom is just a little piece. Just a little piece. Making sure you don't go past that cut line. You can see it at the top. It might not be so easy at the bottom. Now you could, it's 6 in one, half a dozen of the other. If you want to put tape on your flap, you can. If you want to put tape on the base of your card, which is what I'm doing, that works as well. I just like to put it on the bottom because then I'm just going to shut the front flap. Okay. Let's take this off. And I'm just using like 1/4-inch tape. You don't want it to be too thick because then you won't have the opening to put your card, the gift card in. So I've got the tape at the top, at the bottom, and the side. And now I'm just going to let this fall, line it up. Oops, my glue's not dry. And fold it. And if I take my gift card, that will fit nicely right inside like that. Got a fluffy on there. Okay. And it will stand up. We're going to add some goodies on there next. Okay, I'll give you a minute, but for those that are ready, I am going to put this paper up. This is the next one I want you to find, and it has the gnomes on it. Let's see what the back is. Oh, this will be easy to find. It's got the words on the back. So I'll give you a moment to find that one. Words on the back. And this is what we're going to use to cut. All right, so I'm just going to give you a moment to find that. And then we're going to cut this. And of course, there is a way that we need to cut this specifically. So go ahead and find this one, white with words on the back. All right. So we're going to turn it again upside down. Upside down. And I just want to make sure I tell you the exact amount. Yep, I got it. Upside down. And we are going to cut this upside down at 3 3/4. So upside down, 3 3/4. Make sure that your tree is upside down. You should be cutting off the gnomes. Okay, we're not going to use this piece, so this is extra. And it is 3 3/4. Okay, we have several cuts to do, so stay with me. We've got the 3 3/4. Then we're going to turn it so that the trees are at the top. And right now my paper measures 6 inches. And we're going to take it to 5 1/2. I want to cut off 1/2 inch from the bottom. 5 1/2. So I'm just cutting off a little bit of the snow and a little bit of the little stream we have there. 5 1/2. Okay. And then a complete flip. We're going to take a little off the top, just a little off the top. So take the bottom to 5 1/4. Take 1/4 inch off that dark sky. Okay, just a little. So this piece, the final measurement is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Of course, we're not done, but that's what our piece is so far. Okay, one more cut to make this perfect. We're going to put it so that it is right side up. Trees are firmly in the ground. And we're going to take it to 2 1/4. 2 1/4. And this is what we have. Now, when picking the paper for this, it was very specific. I wanted to have a really pretty image right here. So I chose the trees. You could recreate this one very easily and maybe have snowflakes down the edge. There's so many papers in here. Okay, so we are going to glue and glue. And look at that, fits perfectly. Okay, so go ahead and glue. Back of this paper, as I was saying, it's got words. It is actually the night before Christmas. So if you have a read of it, you'll see that it is the night before Christmas poem on the back. That and that. All right. Now both of those are attached. We are going to cut one more paper. One more. There's so many gorgeous papers. And we're going to cut into this one. So as I mentioned, you have 3 of every paper in your kit. So that technically gives Courtney and I 1.5 each. So I'm going to use this 1/2 inch for a very specific reason. I could, and you can, if it doesn't bother you, you have this piece of wood left over, which fits, no problem, but you'll see that the wood is going up and down. I'm not a big fan of wood going up and down. That's just me. So if you want to use this piece, you can. I'm going to cut into this 1/2 so that I can have it so my wood goes sideways. It's a personal preference, so please don't feel you have to. You can definitely use this scrap if you wish. Okay, I just want to throw it out there. It is the right width. It needs to be 3 inches, so it'll totally work. For me, I want to do it so that the wood goes the other way. So for this, if you are following along with me, and you have found that extra piece of wood, we're going to put it in our trimmer in 1/2 at 4 inches. And then that one, I don't know, Courtney may be using it, so I'm going to put it over here. 4 inches. And then I'm going to trim it to 3. 4 by 3. And if you are using that leftover piece, all you have to do is cut it to 4. And it'll be totally fine. If that's okay with you, it's okay with me. Okay, and then we're just going to glue it right onto that purple and white that we already glued. We are almost done. We're just going to decorate. I see I am a little over. I got chit-chatty about my dies, and I totally should not have done that. Run out of time. Okay, so we're almost done. Now I'm going to glue it right in the middle, and I'm only going to put glue on the right hand side. You can pop this up if you like, totally fine. I am going to attach it with glue, and I'm just going to, yeah, we'll just grab that. Just make sure you put glue just on the one side. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to use my glue because it could seep out on me. So I'm going to put some tape down, and again, what I should do is hold it here, and then I know where my parameters are. I know where I can put tape and where I cannot. That's good. Okay, so I just put it on the left hand side. That way the card will still open. Okay, and in the middle, just like that. Double check it. Make sure you don't see any adhesive peeking out. Should be fine. I'm going to transfer over this gift card over to here. Maybe it's concert tickets. Maybe it's an IOU. Okay, and we have that. Now we're going to decorate, and then we'll be done. So find a, did I use the one? Oh, you guys might hate me. Hold on, I want to see which one I used. Yep, I did. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. So I chose the one with Santa. You don't have to. Do whichever one you love. So I chose that one. And I'm going to foam tape it to the center. So foam tape. Gosh, that hour went fast. Fast, fast, fast. But we just have a little decorating to do. Okay, so to the center. All right. Now this is where it gets a little crazy. Just a little. I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to pull out some of these. I use this top snowflake. I'm going to bring them all out, I think. Top center snowflake. It is the small one. So go ahead and pull that out. Then I used the snowman down here, the little guy. I chose the purple one. I love the green one. He's a nice biggie. So I chose that. And then right beside him, there is also a small snowflake. So I grabbed that one. It's underneath our little gnome. So I now have 2 snowflakes and the little snowman. And then the rest is words. So I chose the lighter ones. I used the word love. Of course, you can use any. And I used the word happy holidays. So I have happy holidays, love, this snowflake, which was at the very top center of your card, this one that was down by your snowman, and the little snowman. Those are all the die cuts we're going to use. We're going to plunk them on. We're going to start with happy holidays. And I'm just going to kind of go through this at a fairly good speed, but you can always go back and watch this. Don't freak out with what I'm going to do. I'm going to take happy holidays and I am going to cover up Santa. Oh, ho, ho. We know he's there. I know, kind of sacrilegious sometimes, but that's okay. And again, notice I'm hanging off the edge ever so slightly. Then I'm going to take my snowman. We're going to put double foam tape behind our snowman. Double. So I need to get another little piece here. Double snow. So 2 times. And have a look at what I'm going to do with him. He is going to sit onto the circle primarily like that. His head is kind of right under the L in the I. Just like that. So he's primarily on the circle. He's not on the wood. Then I'm going to take my little snowflake. They're both little, but the littlest. Put a little 1 piece of foam tape, just single. And I'm going to put him right here. So I didn't like this gap. It bothered me. See right there? I didn't like that. So I'm just going to slide that under and hide it. Might need to add a little foam tape underneath. I think I should. I'll just tuck a little foam tape. When something doesn't go right, I just tuck a little foam tape. Oh, and that didn't fit well. But I will, oops, oh, no, now that it's off, I'll just slide it back under. That's better. The bigger snowflake, I might have used, yep, a pop dot. Let me grab my pop dot. Take a pop dot, because remember, the pop dots are a little thicker. And I'm going to put that on the edge of my circle up here, right around 10:30. And then the last thing is the little love. And I'll just grab 1 piece of foam tape again. And the love is going to go onto the bottom center like that. So now we have a gift card holder right here. And it will stand up really pretty. And it's just a unique card that is still in A2, but a little different than what we normally do. Now, that's all I've got for you today. Sorry for going over a few minutes, but I do want to show you, because I messaged Courtney, but I don't know if she has them handy. So I'm going to show you the actual cards that are in your kit, because you'll probably have some left over that you can make some of these. You have the pictures of them in your kit on paper. From Paper Rose. These are actually from Paper Rose, and they gave it to us when we were at the show. And it's always cool to see the actual cards in person. And I'll leave these ones at the store, so if you want to come in and see them, I'll just flip through these real quick. They're just all A2 size cards. Nothing unique or different about them. They're just cards. Now you can make them into gift cards and shaker cards and all kinds of things, but these ones were made from Paper Rose. They are the ones that you will see in your images. See, like he needs some foam tape. He really does. Let's just pull them off and put some foam tape on them. They never put foam tape on things, which I get. They cost a lot to make all these cards. Oh, I'm so glad that you guys liked these. This is our last there. Now, doesn't he look better already, right? That needs foam tape too. These are our last Christmas cards for 2025. Our next Crafty Hour is tomorrow. We're going to be releasing it. I think you're going to love it. I don't know if Courtney gave you secrets away, but I think you're going to love it. It is one of our favorite vendors that we're going to be dealing with. So definitely make sure to watch at 9 a.m. and get your kit right away, because when they're gone, we are not 100% sure yet if we can get more. It is absolutely not Christmas. It's going to be in December. Was it December 18th? Whatever the Thursday is going to be the Crafty Hour. And Courtney will be back on her page, Scrapbook and Memories, at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That is 7 p.m. for our friends in Missouri. And she's going to be making more cards with this beautiful line. So make sure you have all your extras handy and tune in and play along. We're only an hour, so it's a great time for you to spend on yourself. Thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for the next release. Bye-bye.